Hi, everyone. It's Katherine Skaggs on June 10th, 2021. It's the new moon energy. It's time to plant our seeds for new life. We've been coming through these eclipses, as we've talked about. A lot of things have been up to compost radically. That was part of my message yesterday, is to let go, let go, let go. Be courageous to let go beyond anything you thought you could. And from that place, new life blossoms. New life beyond anything you can imagine comes up. So, today I'm going to do a 15 card spread with the Mythical Goddess Tarot to give us some new moon guidance to see what the heck we need to do to help us to plant the seeds of beauty and love and grace to make our lives better, to have more joy. I posted a video on Facebook yesterday that I'd found about a woman who had cancer who just gave this beautiful performance, and she made a simple statement I've heard before, but she said, life's too short not to be happy. And we've gone through tough times. Everybody's probably got a story to tell. So I want to offer that in this new moon energy and in this reading that we're getting the guidance and the energy, the love we need so that we can be happy no matter what hardships we've gone through, what difficulties, that we can come home to ourselves and that we can be present with our blessings and our gifts to find happiness no matter the ups and downs of life. So I'd love that to be a foundation for this information today about how can we move forward in being truly happy in our lives, that we can let go of the struggles and that we can be present right here and right now. And that is a key to happiness, to be 100% here in this moment, not in your past, not in your future, but right here. That's where happiness lives. So I'm going to grab that one. I'm going to encourage you to, and I'm going to throw 15 cards and give you some guidance as to what can help make that happen. New moons are great times to plant seeds. It's always good to clean off your energy before you do so. Leave everything in the past cleared out. Be present. Tap into your heart dreams, your heart hopes. And then go ahead. I'll move my cards out of the way. And see what you can do to just plant those seeds of joy, to do all that you desire. Okay. First three cards have to do with who we are in regards to this new moon and being able to plant seeds that create happiness, that bring joy in, that bring harmony into our lives, to really be in our heart spaces and enjoying the ride. And right in the middle, we've got the card, the works card. It is the Five of Earth. And it sees this woman who's got all these chakra colors, these rainbow colors from heaven to earth, where she's dancing in all her hopes and dreams. This is a Capricorn energy in Venus. And this is like through your love, you're working, you're bringing in all your hopes and dreams. And so, with that being at the center of as we move into this new moon energy, this next cycle, it tells me that we've been working to bring in all the good stuff. We've been dancing, we've been doing all that we can. So, this is like honoring all that work to bring in all your goodness. What is it when you do what you love, you never work? So this is a bit of a reflection of that in my mind, is that we need to honor everything that's been manifesting in our lives and all the effort and all the joy that we've put into it. So that's us moving into this next cycle. And we've got some really powerhouse cards that represent who we are moving into the new moon. We are in a revolution. And that's this card, Maiden of Fire. And like I've told you before, this is the Wild Woman of My Soul painting that was brought into this. This is Aries energy. This is fire medicine. This is solo artist, happy with herself, inwardly connected to spirit, and fiery, bringing new life. Absolutely perfect card when we're talking about composting, radical surrender, to have the revolution card on the new moon as we come into this energy. It's like, yes, we're here, we're honest, We're fiery. We are ready to start anew. And it is an evolution and a revolution. So claim that part of yourself who that's the part of you planting these seeds for new life. You're done with that old stuff. You're here ready to be the fire starter. She's meditative, but man, let me tell you, she can create like crazy. She can shift everything through that fiery, intense light. So that's awesome. This is something we can claim too. These are amazing cards as a foundation for moving forward into new life. Tells me we've done a lot of work and we need to honor that. So, Lilith, the power card in our deck, this is also an Aries. We got fire, man. Let me tell you, we are ready for new beginnings. Imagine, when you plant seeds and it gets in that hot sunlight, that with just enough moisture, those seeds go pop. So now's the time to really access your power as you come into planting those seeds. She's again naked, she's got her wings on. Lilith is Adam's first wife. She is the priestess in the temple of Inanna. She knows how to do healing. She knows how to be true to herself. She's not going to be unequal. She's going to honor herself and say, hey, if that's not working, I'm out of here. I'm going to do my gig. And this is something that we are all claiming as we move forward into a new way of being, is to really be in our power. And that is not power over another. That is an empowered state of being, to know who you are, to know what you love, so that you can choose your new life based on what you love, what you want to do, what you want to learn. So these are excellent cards. It tells me as we move into the new moon, with all the work we've been doing to compost, to clean our hearts, we're coming into a very good place for this energy cycle. All right. So the next piece, the next three cards have to do with what is the big picture of this cycle so that we can be happy. What is this big picture of what we're going to be doing, what's coming, what influences are coming in, and the rest of the reading will help us out with, what are our lessons and what do we need to do about it. But in the big picture, this next cycle of planting our seeds to be happy, right at the center we have the Earth card, the Eight of Earth, which is called nurturance. And you see this woman tending her garden. Perfect time of year for us in North America to tend our gardens, to water our seeds, to be connected to the earth, be in our bodies, be present. And it's very Virgo energy, and it's very beautiful. So this is the big picture for us right now in this new cycle. As we've planted our seeds, we've got to nurture them. We need to give attention. We need to take time. We need to step aside from our quote unquote busy lives to make space, to water, to nourish, to fertilize that which we desire to experience. So if you've planted seeds for a relationship, if you've planted seeds for abundance, if you've planted seeds to lose weight, if you've planted seeds to be healthier, if you've planted seeds for a new job, give it your love and attention. That's the cycle. For it to be successful, for it to come to fruition, you need to take time every single day and feed your garden. So nourish yourself, nourish your garden for your happiness. That reminds me of a universal law and truth that I really do my best to recall and to work, because being human, sometimes we forget, is that whatever you focus on expands. So if you're unhappy and you're in complaining mode and you're in dumping mode, you're feeding the stuff of your unhappiness. I don't mean to say you should stuff it. You should not. You need to find a safe place to let go, to release, so that then you can move that energy out of you. Let that river of anger or disgust or unhappiness flow out into a safe place. You need to get it out. But then you need to go, okay, now that I've done that, I need to focus on what I truly desire. To be happy, we need to go, what do I really want to experience? You can't blame another person for your unhappiness. You can only let go of the things that have caused criticism, unhappiness, anger, any of those what we call in my shamanic practice hucha. It's a Karo word that basically is represents all that man-made junk of unhappiness, of fear. So, for you to nurture your life, what do you really truly want to put your energy into? Because then it will give it back to you. If you feed the anger and fear, you're going to get that back. So, a little teaching on that. So, big picture nurturance. Right next to it is the fire card, Four of Fire, completion. So it tells me as we nurture our hopes and dreams for our happiness, for doing what we love, for being with the people we love, for building tribe, for our abundance, whatever it happens to be, is that this is also part of a cycle of completing all these things that have created unhappiness, all the things where you could not move forward and grow. That there's this fire coming in to grow your dreams and hopes is helping to also continue to burn away anything that needs to be completed. Old patterns, old ways of being. You might find yourself getting a divorce. You might find yourself getting into a new relationship. You might find yourself changing jobs. Uh, Regardless of how it manifests in your life, for you to be happy, this is a cycle of burning away the things that are out of harmony. You might burn away criticisms and old ways of being, and then the relationship you've been in because you've done the work gets amazingly new and different because you burned away and you completed things. So know that the form can change if you collapse the emotional problems, the mental problems, and the places where you denied yourself. And that this represents that completion so that you can be fulfilled again. Your happiness is fulfillment. And I like that this new cycle is all about that fulfillment. All right. So another fire card shows up in the big picture. It's the Seven of Fire, courage. And it shows this woman with, it looks like a sunflower on her heart. She's making an offering to this lion, which is really symbolic of what oftentimes can be something powerful and scary that could eat us. She's got these few drops of fire above her head, and she's got down on the other side of the card here, that's a borage plant. And these plants, Sage Holloway, who wrote this deck, she's the author and the visionary for it, and I was the artist. But she also was a vibrational medicine person. So she understood plant medicines and their vibrations and what they were good for. So borage and sunflower are very good at opening the heart and helping you with courage. And so they're in this, their energy and their imagery are in this card as a signal that for us to oftentimes in the big picture move forward and be happy, we need to be courageous. We need to come into the light and we need to open our hearts. The only way that we can be happy is to open our hearts again. If we've been afraid or disparaged or had any difficult things, any traumas, there comes a period of cleaning them, of purifying our hearts, purifying our minds and our bodies. And then having the willpower and the desire, the heart's desire to truly, willpower and desire can create courage as you move back to your heart. The courage to go for the light, the courage to go for the wellness, the happiness, the joy, the courage to step out of the darkness of depression. And it takes a lot of courage to try new things, to be different than you were yesterday or that you've been in this last cycle. So as we nourish ourselves and we're completing some old patterns to move into the new life with happiness, embrace the courage that you have. Call on the medicine of lion and sunflower and borage to bring in that essence to help you be present in your heart. And I'll guarantee you it's going to help you find happiness. All right. So, what are our lessons or challenges as we move into the new light of happiness in our lives? And we've got three interesting cards here that I'm looking at for this is like the school of life. I'm going to go to a new class for happiness, for my soul's next expansion of happiness. And these are the lessons in the class that day, or so these are the lessons in the cycle right now. And right at the center is a mental card. And the mental suit has more, it's the wind card, so it's the mind. And it has more challenging cards in the mental suit, which is about our human journey, our mental aspect of our human journey. And so this is one of those challenging negative cards. It is the pessimism card. It is the seven of wind. And you see this little person in a box. It's got their head down, tucked in, and this other person below, like imagining this is part of their problem. So as you're moving toward greater happiness in your life, aligning with what your true soul's desires are, part of your lesson and part of your challenge to overcome to truly be happy is any mental beliefs that you have that, oh, but anytime you find yourself saying, or, well, I don't know if I can do that, or can't. All those are mental constructs that limit you from being happy. So be mindful in how you hear, sense, know what limiting thoughts and beliefs are coming up for you to clear. That's part of what you need to complete or clear or burn away for you to truly come into your happiness, is to know that any place you've put yourself in a box, perhaps it's a belief system or an imprint you got growing up from your culture or your parents or your grandparents or your siblings or the kids at school, was that you couldn't do something because they said so, and you were small enough that you took it in and you believed it. And then you've carried that burden your whole life. So, where are the places you need to break the boxes? Imagine this box in this mental piece is like a container that has limited you from your abundance in life. I grew up poor, or a woman can only do so much, or whatever the thought is. That's up for you to clear so that you can break through into your joyful self, and that your mind can actually open to possibility and potential. This is huge. Pessimism is often born of disappointment. Pessimism is often born of being told you're not enough. Pessimism is born of cultural and ancestral beliefs, oftentimes, that have been passed on, that say because we're this way, you can't do that. So you're an unlimited being, and you can do way more than what your mind at times tells you. It could be that you've been sick and you've got patterns of illness, and others have also seen you in that way. And then between you and all these other people around you, if they're not your cheerleaders, you can get stuck thinking that you can't heal. Now, believe me, I've dealt with illness on and off through my life, and I know the limiting patterns when you feel sick physically and how it impacts you emotionally, and then mentally where you get stuck. So now's the time period to break through so that you truly can heal and come home to your happiness no matter what's going on within and around you. All right, we're going to burn up that pessimism. So, one of the helpers here, even though this is in the challenges for clearing the pessimism so we can be happy, we've got Pele here. She's been around a lot. We've had a lot of fire coming in. We got a lot of Aries energy here in the foundation of this reading. And Pele is the Hawaiian volcanic goddess. And in the traditional tarot deck, this is the Tower card, which I used to hate because it meant everything is falling apart. But that is culturally, with the eclipses and the astrology of many years now, and the time period, the bigger container we're in for humanity and ourselves, is that we're in a huge purification process. With Pele's story, with her mythology and her medicine, is that she brings fire to purify all the places that have been out of harmony. Any place we've disrespected ourselves or the land or one another. And if you consider that for thousands and thousands of years, we've had a conquering patriarchal model where there's always somebody at the top and someone at the bottom, there's a lot of disrespect and a lack of harmony. So if we want to come into our happiness individually and collectively, we need to burn away all the stuff that has not been love. This is in the challenges, and this is what's going on in our world right now. We've got race wars, we've got financial, lack of equity between all the people on the planet. We've got issues with water and energy and climate change. I mean, it's up. Everything is up. And you think, well, how can I be happy amidst all that stuff? Well, call on Pele to purify your attitude. Call on Pele to clean your judgment of these things. Call on Pele to purify your heart. Because I tell you, if you can't purify your heart and mind and attitudes and emotions, you'll never be at peace in this world because the world will always have something going on in it. So it starts with you, it starts with me to do what we must to bring in the fires of Pele, to let go of all the things that create disruption, unhappiness, judgment. There they go. Criticism, and all the things where we don't love and respect ourselves. Because I can guarantee you there is a mirror that goes on in our world. If we're judging and angry at other people, we need to look in the mirror and go, where do I judge and am angry at myself? And sometimes it's really hard to perceive, but I'll guarantee you, here comes my love dog again, is that it's really important to look in the mirror so that you can choose what makes you happy and how to let go of the blame and the criticism of anyone in your life and the world at large. And then we can truly get on with what it requires to be at peace and harmony again. So this is big stuff. This is not like a little tarot reading. This is really big stuff that we each get to do, is to purify ourselves so that when we meet our loved ones, when we meet the people that maybe are more adversarial toward us or toward the world, we can be compassionate. And that is one of the foundations for happiness, is to accept what is. And if we're purified, we can be present to no matter the challenges and truly find the happiness in the moment. Oh, there goes my stuff. Okay. What's the other thing that's in the challenges or our lessons right now? And I would say, oops, let me do that. Sorry about that. This is the Nine of Earth community. And because it's in the lessons or it's in the challenges here, it tells me that if we're going to be happy, we need to find ways to get into community. So COVID rules are lifting. It's a little easier to get out around people. Um, so one level of going back to community and being in the lessons is, where's your community? What's it like to find them? I've got a new client that I've been working with, and she's been in town a year, but she's looking for a place to be. And I'm like, she found me. And so I'm connecting her to other places that resonate. And she's just ever so grateful because she seemed lost. But I can guarantee you, as you begin to look and you try one thing, there will be a ripple effect of connecting you to the people and the places that resonate with you, as long as you're open and you're curious. The other thing I get from the energy of this card, what if you have existing community and you're out of harmony with them? Do you feel like you're not vibing with them, that there isn't a resonance there? Well, that is where it takes courage to call on Pele and to maybe walk out of a community, or to look at your attitudes. Are they really your people? And to have the courage that we're looking at over here to look for other places where you resonate. First of all, you need to work on resonating with yourself. And then just being open, you'll begin to find your tribe. And I know that this is part of the journey right now, is to truly connect, find others who support you, that you can enjoy, and get back to having some fun again. What communities do you have fun with? Where can you be yourself? What kind of activities? It seems simple, but It may be at times complex. I know that there's been cycles where I've been a part of a community, say for 13, 14 years, and then I found I haven't been in them with them for 5 years. And I'm going to go back and check it out here soon. And I'm like, you know what? It's kind of interesting to see where I fit or don't fit. But the most important thing is just to fit with yourself. Others may come and go, but where do you really get your sustenance when you get back with people? Time for a drum journey or a fire ceremony. Getting beyond Zoom. That's a really good idea. Get back with people. I have enjoyed that. I got to do a women's retreat earlier, a couple of weeks ago. And it was just really fun to be with a group of people who are like-hearted, doing activities that I love, and we could be together. We need to be together. We need each other. Okay, what's the activity now? And I'm kind of smiling because we got the card that we had yesterday in the middle of what we needed to know yesterday for inspiration. And yesterday's reading was radical surrender, radical transformation, miraculous transformation. So, right in the center of our activity, we have the star goddess again, the Pleiadian star goddess, the star card, Aquarian energy, the new age, the new way of being. This is heavenly blessings from heaven to earth, opening to receive. This is soul destiny. So, your activity is to follow your heart's desires. That's your happiness. You cannot sacrifice your happiness for a job or for where you live in the world or for the people you hang out with. You have got to follow your beat of your own drum and let it take you where you desire to be with the people, the places, the things, the activities. And to know that as you're guided, as you listen to your inner voice, as you listen to that heart's desire, is that you get what you need. You are given more than you can even imagine. Is that you align with the greater picture of your soul's journey and you get the sustenance. If you're having a hard time, things aren't working, go into meditation, take a walk in nature, and truly be an inquiry. What does my heart want? You may get one little tiny piece, but just take that next guidance and then you'll get another one. It's like, dropping the guidance on the trail in front of you. You get your tidbits and then the next will come. So this is really important, is that we're working on our soul's destiny by showing up and saying yes. That's our happiness. Yes to you. Yes to your joy. Yes to your happiness. And letting go of everybody else's desires for you, and then knowing that everything comes to you. Well, you got to do the activity of it, but this is the activity right now, is to say yes and then see what happens. This card, Fire 5 Conflict, is right next to the Soul Destiny card. So, that being an activity, this is not about going into conflict. This is about resolving conflict. So, that actually is perfect to be right next to the Soul card, the Star card. Is that if you go for your heart's desires and you have mental, emotional, physical limitations that say, I don't think you can do that, or you don't have enough money, or, well, whatever, parental, cultural limitations, personal limitations, those are conflicts. If you have something you really, really want, and you've got an idea or someone speaking to you, or maybe it's a parent's voice and they're not even on the planet anymore, and you hear it inside of you because they told you over and over, that creates internal conflict. Could be external conflict too. Where do you need to leave a job or a situation so you can truly be happy and follow your heart? So this is not easy, but that's where you need to go to Pele and ask her to help you to purify yourself, to help you let go of your attachments so that new life can come in. If you plant seeds in your garden and you don't pull the weeds, guess what? Those new seeds don't grow, or they get crowded out by the negative worry seeds. So, clearing conflict, following your heart's desires. And then we haven't had any of these. We've got a C's card. This is the emotional suit. Mother perception as Pisces. And I tell you what, after some of the astrology I've been navigating for the last 2.5 years, I understand this card even more than ever. your perception can be clouded by your emotions, whether they be really high or really low. And this mother is very much about true perception, perception from your inner self through your outer world, the ability to see through the murky waters, the murky emotions that we may have on a human level, so that we can get down to our deep intuitive knowing to navigate. So, this is really important because your job here with following your heart's desires to trust your true intuition, not intuition that has been murkied by fears and old experiences that are difficult. But you being pure allows you to really perceive what's right for you and get the guidances and the downloads from your inner self to your conscious mind to help you make choices born of the heart. What is it like to trust your heart, to perceive your true heart's desires, to really trust your soul's journey? And I feel like the mother is here to nourish us in trusting our emotional, intuitive sense that is born of love, not fear, to allow us to move forward. You know, if murky waters, imagine that murky emotional ways of being are born of fear and trauma responses. If you're centered in yourself and in your heart's desires and there's no fear, I'll guarantee you you're going to be very clear in how to move forward in life that is focused through the energy of love and not of old experiences that are limiting or difficult. And that's a lot to say. That's why that purification card with Pele is very, very important. If you want to move on your heart's desires, you've got to purify your emotional body. Your emotional body is where you start to manifest your physical reality. The mental thoughts are important, the beliefs, the mental thoughts, how clear your vision is. But when you put that emotional energy into those thought forms of what you desire, if it has fear in it, it's going to come out twisted and conflictive. If it's born of pure love, it's going to be awesome. Because I'll guarantee you, I was talking about this with someone last night, that that emotion, when it comes in, it'll go, whoosh. That's how fast it brings your reality is when you get excited and joyful about something. If you're going, oh no, well, it can come in sideways, believe me. So clean yourself, get help if you need to clean your heart, and move into this place of trust that your soul's desire is the most important thing that you're doing right now. Okay, outcome. What's our outcome? Again, more fire and an earth card in the outcome. And I love it. The crone of fire and the mother of fire are here. So I'm going to talk about the crone first. The crone of fire is in the center of the outcome. It tells me that this new cycle to become happy, to be into our happiness, we are burning away all the junk that keeps us from being free and illuminated. This is us coming out of the ashes, free, filled with light. We are the beacon of light, and that our lives are transformed and we are raising above all the old challenges into new life. This is awesome. You know, and right next to that, we've got the mother of fire, and she is regeneration. So as we come out of the ashes of the old into our new lives that are born for happiness, we are completely regenerated. We are restored at the deepest levels of our spirit with all the elements of our life completely in harmony and the elements of our soul completely in harmony. And we are awake, alive, and well. This is awesome. This tells me that we are coming through a massive soul cycle, not just a 20 or 30-day cycle, 28-day cycle. We are moving through the old to be fully reborn, to be fully awakened and on fire for our lives, regenerated, feeling great. So, and it shows that we've come through the cycle of it all. The cycles card is earth card. It's another Capricorn energy. It tells me we've worked hard. We're bringing in new life as we complete the old. And we're in a new cycle that I like to attribute as part of building the new earth, that we're the architects and the builders to bring in an entirely new way of being. That brings happiness, because that's where this whole reading started. What is it like to truly live life in a happy, fulfilled way, no matter what's going on? So I hope these energies truly help you, that these cards and this guidance encourage you to plant your seeds, to clean your hearts, and to know that you're on their path of your soul destiny, and that things are truly shifting as we've gone through the difficulties. That part of our time now is to really move to a place of honoring our heart's desires. And that's so connected to the big picture of how to be fulfilled. And that if you're fulfilled and I'm fulfilled and our neighbor's fulfilled, guess what? The world's going to run a whole lot more easily. We're going to be at greater peace. And if we get out of criticism of ourselves and others to find that happiness, I'm telling you, the whole economy will change. The whole way that we can be together, no matter the color of our skin, our gender, our sexuality, our economic status, we will come into a greater harmony and peace. It's time for us to come home to peace and to offer that up to our neighbor, that we are in this together. And the biggest blessing I could have is to be contributing to your happiness, because I know that my connection with you, I get fed for all of us connecting, and a feeling like I'm worthy in your life and you're worthy in my life, because we're together and we're making a change because we're paying attention and we desire for our happiness. So my name's Katherine Skaggs. I am the artist of the Mythical Goddess Tarot and the author of the Artist Shaman Healer Sage book. If you haven't heard of it or gotten it, let me see. I got a copy here. Oh, no, I don't have a copy upstairs. Well, I'll bring one next time around. It is a great spiritual shamanic guidebook. If you need help knowing how to do some of the things I recommend, pick it up. It's worth it. Or get it on Kindle on Amazon. My whole goal is to make the world a better place and to be in harmony myself, so that I can actually be a light and a blessing, and that you can too. So that's one way that you can also support yourself or find some other good teachers that empower you. But I just am here to say nothing but light and love to you. Thank you for being a blessing. Happy new moon. Go plant some wonderful seeds.